All right, today we're cracking open a plan that's all about turning Malaysia's trash into treasure. Literally, we're talking big money and a greener future. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's just start with this number right here, 34.8 billion ringgit. That's not a typo. That's how much Malaysia's recycling industry is expected to be worth by 2026. I mean, wow. And it's only getting bigger.
So, how can people get in on this? Well, we've got our hands on the blueprint. It's a brand new proposal from the Malaysian Recyclers Association, and it lays out exactly how cooperative investors can grab a piece of this multi-billion ringgit pie. Let's break it down.
So what's the big idea? At its core, it's all about partnership. You've got the Malaysian Recyclers Association, the MRA, reaching out to Koperasi Malaysia, the big organization for all the cooperatives. They're basically saying, hey, let's team up and do something huge. And when you look at the goals here, it's a total win-win situation. The idea is to let cooperative members put their money into green projects, actually own a part of this booming industry, tick all the right boxes for the national ESG goals, and, of course, make some solid long-term cash. It's a pretty sweet deal.
So let's talk scale. Just how big is the prize we're talking about here? Make no mistake, this isn't some small-time niche market. We're looking at what's becoming a major engine for the whole national economy.
This chart really spells it out, doesn't it? It shows you where the big money is right now. Look at that. Steel scrap alone, a whopping 10.4 billion ringgit market by 2026. Then you've got aluminium and copper, not far behind. I mean, this stuff is in everything, from buildings to our phones. These are the old-school giants of the recycling world.
Okay, but here's where things get really interesting. The proposal doesn't just look at today, it's looking ahead. It basically says, yeah, scrap metal is great, that's our bread and butter, but the future, the place where the real explosive growth is, that's in e-waste and batteries.
So you might be asking, why these two? Well, take a look. On one side, you've got e-waste. We're talking over 400,000 tons of it a year in Malaysia. And hidden inside all that junk, real gold, silver, and other valuable stuff. Then, on the other side, batteries for EVs and drones. With the EV market just blowing up, recycling these isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely critical for getting back materials like lithium and cobalt.
And this is the secret sauce of the whole plan. It's not just about doing more recycling, it's about doing it smarter. The real game changer here is technology. We're talking about next-level tech that basically acts like a turbocharger for profits. And this table lays it out plain and simple. Check this out. For EV batteries, instead of the old way, you use something called direct cathode recycling. Boom, 40% more money when you sell the materials. For e-waste, you use AI to sort it. They call it urban mining. And you get 35% more of the good stuff out. This right here is why the investment makes so much sense.
Just let that sink in for a second. A 40% boost in revenue just from using smarter tech on batteries. That is absolutely a game changer.
And it's the same story with e-waste, a 35% bump in getting those valuable metals back, all thanks to AI. This is literally how you turn trash into treasure, unlocking value that's just been sitting there. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what's the buy-in? What are the actual numbers? Well, the proposal is super clear about the financials. Let's peel back the curtain and look at the blueprint for one of their big projects. All right, let's take the e-waste facility as an example. The model says you need an initial investment of 50 million ringgit. Now the lion's share of that, 35 million, goes into the big stuff, the land, the building, the machines. Once it's up and running, you're looking at about 8 to 10 million a year to keep the lights on. And the payoff? A projected gross profit of around 9 million ringgit every single year. But here's the real kicker, the bottom line. Even with that big 50 million investment upfront, they project that the whole thing will break even in just the second year. I mean, getting your money back and turning a profit that quickly, that's incredibly fast. So let's zoom out a bit. When you put all these pieces together, what have we got? It's pretty clear this is more than just a business deal. It's being presented as a huge strategic partnership for the whole country, one with benefits that spread out everywhere. And for the Koperasi members who invest, the perks are really clear. You get steady, green dividends. You get to be part of the ESG movement. You're positioned right at the cutting edge of where Malaysia's industry is headed. Plus, you get access to cool new tech and maybe even team up with international investors. It's about making money, for sure, but it's also about building something bigger.
You know, the proposal document itself really hits the nail on the head. It calls this a transformational opportunity. And that's exactly what it is. It's about taking the money from the community, from the cooperatives, and pointing it directly at the country's biggest goals for sustainability and growth.
And that leaves us with one big final question to chew on. Think about it. Using the combined financial power of everyday people to build these huge, high-tech, green industries. Could this be the new way we do things? Is this the blueprint for how a community can fund its own future? It's a pretty powerful thought.